Welcome back, friends. It is Gabe from the Search for Tiki. Thank you for joining us again for another night of 13 Nights of Tiki Frights. Guys, this is it. We did it. Season 4, 13 interviews. Tonight is the last of the 13 interviews. We do plan to go live on Halloween for a fun episode with Creepers Cove, but this is our last official guest, Jason T. Smith of Devilishly Good Fulfillment Services. We're super excited to chat with him tonight. As always, we are sponsored by Plantation Rum. Guys, we could not do 13 Nights of Tiki Frights or the Search for Tiki without Plantation Rum. Thank you so much to you guys. We do have a Halloween party that's sold out through the New England Tiki Society tomorrow night at Woosong Road. Thank you to everyone who bought a ticket. That's our fun in-person event. It's our second time doing an in-person event for 13 Nights of Tiki Frights, and I'm excited to see everybody from the New England Tiki Society and people that are coming to just check it out. Also sponsored by Plantation Rum. 13 Nights of Tiki Frights is sponsored, in addition, by Holden Westland of Tiki Farm. Tiki Farm is the world's largest manufacturer of high-end cocktail mugs. Holden's been a supporter of the Search for Tiki from day one, and I'm so thankful to him for everything he does for our site. And then also, we are sponsored by Dawn the Beachcomber. Dawn the Beachcomber, the official Dawn the Beachcomber, is coming back in a big way, starting in Florida. They've announced multiple locations opening over, multiple years. We got to talk to both Marie King from Dawn the Beachcomber and Holden Westland from Tiki Farm earlier in the season. So go check those videos out. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. It does make a huge difference to us. With that said, tonight we're going to give away this bad boy right here. This is the official Den of Sin cocktail mug. And this is the Into the Shadows glaze. We're going to give this bad boy away. This is the mug from the home bar of Jason T. Smith, who is our guest tonight. And with that said, let's get him in here. What's happening, buddy? There you are.
I'm like, are you sure about that?
Yeah, it's just me. It's just me.
What's happening, man? How are you?
I'm doing well. It's good to have you in front of the camera this time.
Yes.
For the people watching, Jason has been helping out all season long in the background of all these interviews, doing all the titles and bringing up the comments and all that kind of stuff. Cutie pie. Yep. Yeah, making our guests feel welcome. So first of all, thank you. Thank you for helping us out on the.
Oh, you're very welcome.
On the back end, and I'm excited to actually get to talk to you. Without you being the codename Menahune behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here because I love sharing, and I definitely love teaching. And one thing that we've all happened to all of us that collect tiki mugs is we've received a broken mug or two in the mail that ends up sounding like this.
No, you don't say.
So although not a mug maker or an artist of any kind, I am an artist when it comes to shipping, and I can ship anywhere in the world without a problem, and a lot of people can't.
Nope. Personally, I'm excited because through the mug website, Search for Tiki, I get a lot of questions that have very little to do with the website and more so just tiki mugs in general, like shipping tiki mugs. So, now I can just send them a link to an interview with you.
Yeah,
an expert in shipping tiki mugs rather than typing out these long emails every single time. So you're doing a public service tonight, Jason.
I am going to try.
You're going to try. I also have to say thank you for this thing.
Oh, the
turntable. So all of these giveaways this year, the videos that I was able to make were with this thing, which was a recommendation from you. This I bought on Amazon for like $13. Guys, if you don't own this already and you sell tiki mugs, get buy it. $13 on Amazon.
Even if you don't sell anywhere, but if you have parties in your tiki bar, man, put your best mug on display. Let it rotate while the party's going. I mean, put a little spotlight on it. It'd be awesome.
I wonder if they sell these that are like sound activated. So like boom, boom, boom. The mug does a little dance. That'd be fun. I haven't seen you since right here.
Mama Hoonies.
In person. Mama Hoonies. We coincidentally ended up in Hawaii on vacation at the exact same time. And not only that, but the same dates on the same islands, because we were on different islands, which was wild.
Yeah, I mean, you messaged me when I was laying on the couch a couple weeks before Hawaii, and you said, "Hey, dude, what's your dates?" And I told you, and you went, "Well, that's crazy because that's my dates too." And we left Kauai on the same day to go to Oahu. I mean, it's crazy how friends ended up vacationing together with no plan. I mean, talk about the world just working in mysterious circles.
On the other side of the world. Well, maybe not for you, but for me, Hawaii is pretty close to I guess maybe Japan is further from New Hampshire than Hawaii. But other than that, it's the other side of the globe. One of the questions that gets asked all the time, I know it's going to, whether we talk about it or not, it's going to keep being asked, but we can put it out there and hopefully, someone sees it. I'm going to Hawaii. Where can I go to buy a good tiki mug?
I don't know. Crazy. I was going to say what's crazy is that's not really the best place to buy mugs. However,
yes,
especially if you're in Maui, you got to go see Beach Bum's gift shop. Scott Taylor, he makes amazing mugs. So does Tiki Rob. And in Scott's little booth, it's a little tiny booth right next to the South Shore Tiki Lounge, he'll have like current Tiki Farm. He'll have his mugs. He'll have Rob's mugs with a lot of other fun. And Scott's wife makes this great jewelry from like sea glass and stuff. So and other fun little like tiki tchotchkes. So that is, of all the islands, the best place to go. A couple of places will have mugs, like La Mariana will have mugs for sure.
I do want to say, while we're talking about Beach Bums and Tiki Pop, they are in Maui, and Maui is open for business. They very much need your support. I know the government, the news cycle for a while was saying, don't come to Maui, but that is no longer the case. Please, guys, if you're planning a vacation, go support Maui. They need the money desperately. They've already been through enough hard stuff with the wildfires. They don't need economic troubles as well. Go to Maui, support them, Beach Bums. But yeah, other places to buy mugs are pretty limited, like you said. Hawaii's not the mecca for tiki necessarily. Tiki bars, anyways. It's more California, San Francisco, San Diego. But with that said, other than Beach Bums, where do people go?
All right, so we got introduced to a new bar. We were there last time, and shoot, let me look it up, the name real quick. It's called Esther's, but not the woman's name. Well, please. It's not a tiki bar by any stretch, but it has amazing rum cocktails that are essentially tiki cocktails. It's called Esther's Fair Prospect. It's kind of up near the airport, and one of their tiki drinks is served in a Modelo beer. So they pour out half the beer.
Okay.
Yeah. They pour out half the beer, then they make the cocktail back in the beer can. They give you the half they poured out just in a glass, and then you have this really amazing cocktail that's half lager too. And when you go on vacation, I don't know about you, Gabe, or other people, but we like to go to cocktails, obviously tiki bars and such. And when you're in a place for like 4 or 5 days, usually you don't need to repeat any place because there's so many places to go. Esther's was so good, we went twice. That's how amazing their drinks are. And they just have the whole array of plantation rums.
There we go. We like that.
Yeah, and I want to say thank you to Plantation for these rums because I did an XO with a little bit of Fiji old fashioned tonight, and it is just effing delicious. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers to that.
So that's a great place to drink. 808 Deli in Kihei, all the way to the south end of Kihei. It has some of the best deli sandwiches of all time, but they have pudding that is life-changing pudding. And so if you go anywhere in Maui, go to 808 and get pudding. It is the lightest, tastiest pudding you'll have in your entire life. Now, every friend I've told to go there, I don't get a, hey, thanks, we loved it. I just get a picture of their fridge on vacation full of all the flavors.
The pudding.
Yeah. And they take one and they're like, we'll take all of them because they have like 7 flavors.
I don't know. Can you bring it back on a plane? Is pudding allowed?
It wouldn't last, but we walk in day one because we were there for a week and bought all the flavors, and then through the week we would have it, in our room once a day. And So good. So good. And then if you've never done the drive to Maui, yeah, drive to Maui.
The drive to no, can't say I've ever done that, Jason.
If you've never done the drive to Hana, it is absolutely amazing. It's so amazing that every time in Maui, and that's been about 10 times now, we've done the drive to Hana and continued around the backside. Most people turn around. The backside's a whole different drive because it's on the other side of the volcano, the crater, which is arid and dry and totally different than all the lush vegetation on the way to Hana. But get a Jeep that you can take the top off. Do not rent a sports car. I watched two idiots who have more money than brains, who got talked into a sports car, mess up the sports car.
On the backside of Hana?
Yeah. So one dude in a Corvette he rented pulled into a driveway and it was so low, both sets of tires weren't on the ground anymore. He was stuck in the middle. And then the guy next to me, when we were at a rest stop going to the bathroom, he had like a Camaro or something. So low, it went over the parking bumper in front and pulled the whole bumper off. That doesn't happen when you have a Jeep. So definitely do not waste money on a sports car. That is not the vehicle you want in Maui. You want a Jeep.
Yep. And I will say, some of the islands, you never really know. If you've not been before, it's like, do I get a Jeep? Do I not get a Jeep? Maui is the island, in my opinion, that I get the Jeep. I spring for the Jeep. Yeah. Oahu, you really don't need it.
Oahu is a pretty good island for a convertible sports car because there isn't any not that the road to Hana is treacherous, but it ain't normal.
The backside's a little treacherous.
A little, but Oahu is just regular roads. So yeah, that's great for a convertible sport car.
And people also got to keep in mind that the locals use these roads to commute. So if you get a sports car and you bust it up on these roads and you're blocking the road, you're preventing people from working in Hawaii. So don't do that. But then also, here's a little fact: the volcano Haleakala, that's how it's pronounced, right? It's actually taller than Everest. Did you know that?
Yes.
It's just so much of it is below the water, So it's not as high in elevation, but it's technically taller.
Now, speaking of that, you can take a bus can pick you up at your hotel at 2:30 in the morning. It'll take you to the top, and you can watch the sun come up. Now, we did that once. Luckily, we did the whole tour where then they give you bicycles to ride all the way down the volcano. It's awesome. I mean, not into it, but obviously. Because the money we spent, we never saw the sun. We just saw clouds passing by us. So we paid like $100 a person to see clouds up close and personal.
And you probably froze your cheeks off.
Oh, we did. And we still want to go up there and see the sunrise one day. But the bike ride, because of course it's just gravity. You just go. There's no pedaling.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome going down because you go down for miles. It's really fun.
I have very mixed feelings about it. Not the bike ride, just the volcano in general. Because if you go for a sunset, or I guess if you go for sunrise or sunset, one of the directions you're going in complete darkness.
Yep.
And it's terrifying because you go off that road and it is a long drop to the bottom. So if you're queasy about that, probably don't do it. But then the other thing is, for someone coming from New England, to go to Hawaii, to go there, now I'm packing a winter jacket specifically for that day.
Yep.
When you go to the top of the crater. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? But you can just go up. It's way easier to just go up during the day and bike down or something else. No. For sure. With that said, we could talk about Hawaii all day. But I want to talk about you, Jason, your new business, Devilishly Good Fulfillment Services. And before that, what your first exposure to tiki culture was.
Well, awesomely enough, here's my first exposure. Well, not the awesome part. Skip that because what I'm about to tell you isn't all that awesome. But when I was 4.5, my mom and dad and me and my brand new baby sister had to go to Hawaii because my grandfather had been diagnosed with cancer and was going to pass away. Now, I didn't know that when I was 4.5, obviously. All I know was it was this trip to this magical place where we ate a lot of pineapple on the side of the road. And so here is my first tiki bar. That's me with my grandmother, my dad, and my sister at the Tahitian Lanai in the Waikiki in Honolulu, and then me hiking the bamboo forest with my folks. And
you started young.
Yeah. And the best part is, here I am at the hula show in my first ever bark cloth outfit. And can you imagine, Gabe, I was small enough to fit in a suitcase at one point in my life? But
No.
here's the crazy part of all that. We lost the shorts, but I still have my shirt.
Oh my God.
And
On a monkey.
This is my wife. Hi, honey, I love you. My wife Stacy's monkey from when she was a kid. And so, yes, it's a little big on the monkey, but can you imagine I was this small once? It's crazy.
Dude, how is that shirt still in that good condition?
Isn't that crazy? My mom found it in the basement years ago and said, here's your shirt from those pictures. So,
holy smokes.
You know, unbeknownst to me. Oh, and then also, this is me playing hide and seek with my dad at the Tiki's at the Walt Disney World. We're outside the Tiki Room. So I didn't know it then, but of course I was being indoctrinated into the Tiki lifestyle. So that's my.
You didn't even have a choice.
I know.
You're like, you're gonna like Tiki, boy.
that was my first exposure in the 4 to 5 age range, but it didn't really take hold until my wife and I moved to Long Beach in the fall of 2000, and then we fell in love with it, discovered the Rebirth. And luckily she liked my idea because we had moved from Cleveland with all our Cleveland stuff, our Cleveland furniture, our Cleveland decor. And we were in the Belmont Shore area of Long Beach, living by a lagoon about a mile from the ocean. And I said, we should change all this out. She goes, what do you mean? I go, well, where we're living, the rebirth of Tiki had happened. And I go, we should go Tiki, beachy, Hawaiian-y, piratey. And she said, okay. And that was 24 years ago almost. And we have an entire house, top to bottom, 2 stories. That's everything we said. And our friends call it the Tiki Museum. So we fell hard for the Tiki.
I think you got a little carried away.
Just
Are you today? Are you equally into it?
Yes. Yeah, equally into it. Love checking out new bars. Matter of fact, as soon as we're done, I'm going to the newest Tiki bar called Stray Pirates here in Vegas with my friend Debbie and her husband Bill. So I'm going right from drinking old fashions to drinking whatever they have.
Have they officially announced it being open, or is it?
Yes, like they open on Thursday. Chris, the head bartender, sent me a message. He goes, "We're opening today," and I was with your show on Thursday, and I'm vending in a week, and so I don't have any time until like 8 tonight.
Then you got to do it. What are okay? So we know. Obviously, we know Frankie's Tiki Room. We love Frankie's Tiki Room. We know Golden Tiki. These are the big ones. What are some other places in Vegas? If you're going to Vegas, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a tiki bar, but places that do great tiki cocktails, where else can people go? Yeah,
so Frankie's is Coke, Golden's Pepsi, and then what do you do after that? Where's the RC Cola? So Red
the Fanta.
Dwarf,
where's the Fanta?
Red Dwarf is awesome. They came on the scene about 2 years ago, and what they did was they took Detroit-style pizza, tiki drinks, 20 beers on tap, and punk rock on the jukebox and smashed it all together. And a lot of purists would think it doesn't work, but if you've been there, you know it works really, really well. It's an awesome place. They're constantly working on new drinks. They got actual Dole Whip. They have free burlesque on Thursdays, free bands on Fridays and Saturdays, free Dungeons and Dragons live in the bar on Tuesdays. And it's an amazing place that keeps evolving. And like I said, they don't just sit on, okay, these are our tiki drinks forever. They're always doing new stuff. And the pizza is the best pizza in the whole city.
Oh my God, that pizza is insane.
Yeah. So there for sure. And then Stray Pirates just opened Thursday. I've seen it. It looks amazing. I will taste the drinks tonight and report back. And then Jammyland, everyone kind of doesn't know Jammyland, even though I've typed it a million times in every tiki group I'm in to let people know. But Jammyland makes the best Mai Tai of any tiki bar and of any bar in this town. They make it, and Danielle, who owns it, the distributor ran out of Appleton 12, which is in her Mai Tai, and she says, okay, I got to take off the menu until my distributor gives the 12 back. And everyone's like, just pick another rum. And she's like, that's not how it works here. I make a Mai Tai with Appleton 12, and Appleton 12 only. We do not substitute. We want to keep our standards up here. And their Mai Tai is so good. And I don't drink a ton of Mai Tais anymore. I'm on to like Zombies and Three Dots, but there I always get a Mai Tai. It's that good.
Yep. Okay. Jammyland. I really loved the Lost Spirits Distillery. Obviously,
Oh
that's like
yeah, and
that's a different category.
Yeah.
It's not really cocktails. I did not realize when I went. Learn from my mistake, guys. I went to a bunch of tiki bars when I was in Vegas with you guys. Got a little toasty. I was Ubering, so it's fine. And then I went to Frankie's, and then I went to Lost Spirits Distillery, and they give you this cup of rum, to taste rums, and I'm sipping the rum, and I'm like, I'm not gonna finish this because, I've already had a decent amount. I don't need to. I've tasted it, whatever. So I put it down. I go to the next section to taste the next rum. They're like, "Where's your cup?" I'm like, "What do you mean? I discarded it. Give me a fresh one." They're like, "No, we don't do that here. You gotta you get the one cup and you gotta drink it all." I was like, no.
So here's the key to going to Lost Spirits. Go with friends who want to see the spectacle but don't love rum, and then you get to drink all their rum too.
Well, that wouldn't have been the key for me that night.
No. But on a normal night, when you haven't had anything to drink, our friends love going there for the entertainment and just you wandering down the alleys of Hong Kong. It just is an amazing place, and they like rum, but they won't drink all of it. And so I'm just like, bring it. I will take it.
Yep. I think, maybe your tolerance is a little higher than mine too. I think you got a foot on me, vertically. Yeah. Okay. So the Vegas scene's bumping. They got new stuff. We got a new pirate bar coming in. You've obviously been to a lot of tiki bars over the past 25 years. Outside of Vegas, do any stand out to you as like, this is it? These are the ones you got to go to.
Well, the Mai Kai is the granddaddy, and so it's like a list of where are the best bands. Okay, let's skip past the Beatles and then go from there.
Yep.
And so the Mai Kai is always number
Cheers to that.
Yeah, the Mai Kai is always number one. So you don't even have to talk about it. It is, and it's going to be number one with a plus with this new rebuild. Check out the episode with Tiki Tommy. But
Tiki Tommy.
Typhoon
Tommy.
Typhoon Tommy.
Although I we can start calling him Tiki
As
Tommy.
the words came out, I go, I think this is not right. But here's what I would say to go to for sure. Foundation in Milwaukee. It's in one of the most amazing looking tiki bars. It's in a house. They've got a tiki Airbnb right above it. You can just walk down. My wife and I vacation one day a year in Milwaukee. Now, I never would have thought that in my life, Stacey and I would be in Milwaukee one day every year, but the bar is that good. We tend to end up in Chicago every year for my things, her things. And so we spend one night in Milwaukee drinking because the Foundation is phenomenal. Undertow in Phoenix for sure. I mean, the immersive experience is crazy, but the best tiki drinks I think of on the planet. Oh, Dirty Dick is really good in Paris, but Sunken Harbor Club in Brooklyn, actually, New York City. What Garrett's doing with cocktails and the book he wrote, it's amazing. And we went in there once and we sat down, we had our first cocktail, and Stacey, my wife, goes, I don't think there's any booze in this drink. That's how well balanced it is.
Yo, so that's dangerous.
So she gets her second drink and she goes, I don't think there's any booze in this drink. I go, I think there is, huh?
I think there is booze. Yep.
Yeah.
Garrett's the man. And I appreciate, so if people go early because it's a very small venue and they fill up. So go early, but also their menu, what I appreciate is it's like the depths of the ocean, right? So like the first page, the cocktails are kind of like light, airy, fluffy cocktails. And then as you go further into the menu, they get, deeper, and you have your more rum forward cocktails, your zombies and that kind of stuff. So
be forewarned in case you have an issue with stairs. It's a bullshit name because it's a Sunken Harbor Club and you have to go up 20 steps straight up. And that's before I had both my hips replaced this year. So we went in December and I was double caning it. And we turned the corner. I had no clue we were about to go upstairs. And I looked at the maitre d'. I go, what kind of bullshit name is this? And I was the first in line. And I looked behind everybody. I go, this is going to be slow. I'm sorry. My hips suck.
But it was worth it.
Oh, every
painful step.
Yeah. So yeah, I would definitely check out those bars. And I mean, there's tons. Hale, Pele, Tiki Tea, of course. But I spend one day a year in Milwaukee. So that should tell you about how cool that bar is. And I think Stacey and I have hit 150 tiki bars now over the past 25 years.
Do you have like a running list?
Pretty much. And I'm still working on it because there's some that didn't last long in the early 2000s that I'm like, every once in a while, someone will say something. I'm like, oh, shit, we were there too.
I've been there.
Yeah. Like there was a place called the Lava Club in Hollywood that was about that big. And tiki bands would play. And the place could hold maybe 20 people. And it was gone in a flash too. And so, people don't even really know about that club.
Womp, 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 womp.
Yeah,
go support your local tiki bar, folks.
My mom's in the chat. It's my mom. Hi, mommy. My mommy's 80 now. She was at the Maikai when it opened when she was 13. So,
so you definitely were indoctrinated.
Oh yeah, go to Maikai. Family.
You came out drinking a zombie. Yeah. All right, so tiki's in your blood. Thrifting is another thing. You're known for thrifting. So how did you get into thrifting specifically? And is thrifting your full-time job now?
When I was 6, my grandmother took me to a flea market, and I wandered away to go talk to a vendor. And I wasn't curious about his stuff, but I was curious about why he was doing what he like. Why are you selling? And I just walked away because I was always a curious kid. And my mom and my grandmother pooped their pants because they couldn't figure out where I went. And they finally found me interviewing a vendor at 6 years old. And so
was the stuff just too good? And you were like, what? Like, you don't want this stuff?
Well, I was, it was my first flea market. So I was just kind of like, what's happening here? There's so many people with tables and stuff, And I always garage sale to the point of, I grew up in the country and I was fully driving by the time I was 12. And so when it came time for the official test when you're 16, we get in the car, we start driving, and the guy's like, man, you know how to drive. I go, yeah, I've been driving for 4 years already. And so on the last day, he goes, we don't need to do any more exercises. What do you want to do? And I said, oh, look, there's a garage sale. And he goes, oh, I love garage sales. So for my last 2 hours of my driving test at 16, we garage saled for 2 hours. Me and the guy. So I've always been into thrifting and garage sales and stuff. But what happened was in early 2000, I got laid off from a job I loved. I worked for a chain of record stores, used music stores. And about 2 weeks after that happened, I'm like, I probably should do something, make some money. And I went to a different record store and they had a table full of dollar CDs. And I thought, this is way early. People wrong. There's no streaming. There wasn't selling online for the most part. And I go, man, these CDs have to be worth more than $1. So I threw down $20. I picked out 20 I thought would be good. I went home. I taught myself how to sell on eBay. And within 3 months, I was shipping 500 CDs a month. And I'm like, do I really need a real job? I was like the post office yelled at me. I was bringing too many packages in. I go, what do you mean? That's your job.
Don't you love that? I get that when you sell a mug that's 500 and all of those boxes are like, 12 by 10 by 10 or whatever it is. Sometimes you get smaller if you're
But can you imagine? I was just selling CDs, which are 4 ounces and an 8 by 8 by 1.
You have to sell a lot of CDs for them to get mad at you.
And the dude goes, here's what he said to me. We can't keep doing this. Like, it's your job to mail my shit. I'm paying for it. Like, what?
Yeah. That's how they're in business.
Yeah, definitely been to Porco in Cleveland. It's amazing. I love Porco.
Porco's loud.
But yeah, it became my full-time job. I always thought you had to have a real job. So I sold from 2000 on, but I always had real jobs. I worked for Tower in Hollywood. I was a night manager of Tower back in the day. And then we moved to Vegas. I started working for a friend who owned a hot tub store. And it became that job where it's time to make the donuts. And I was just miserable. And then I got an infection in my arm, ended up in the hospital, and I had to have 2 surgeries to save my arm and my life. And it took me 5 days to get those 2 surgeries done. And I'm like, in that time, I reevaluated my life. I'm like, why am I going to a job every day that I just hate? I just hate it. And so I thought, all right, I'm going to work for myself. So when I came out of the surgery, my arm was kind of stuck like this in a sling. And so just sitting there in my underwear and a tank top, typing left-handed, and I started selling. And I made as much money that month selling online as I did delivering hot tubs in the summer in Vegas. Just an awful back-breaking job. And I'm like, why was I breaking my back? I could just sit in an air-conditioned house and make the same money,
right?
If not more. So I increased that, and then I started teaching people. And so I made money from teaching people. And then I've moved on to now shipping for people. So we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, so it's my full-time job, thrifting, and now really shipping.
The boy knows his stuff.
I have shipped a
There you
lot of vintage Herman Miller chairs. That's my best overall deal and my biggest shipper. The Riviera was going out of business about 10 years ago here in Vegas, and their daily office chairs for the morning meeting with the executives was 1970s Herman Miller office chairs. They still used them, and I was smart. They had 14. 13 looked great for their age, and one looked like it was beat with a bat outside in the sun. And so I took a picture of that one because there was no prices on them. Took them up to the front. I go, how much is this chair? $50. Okay, there's 14. They're like, okay, 14 times 50. Thank you. So I sold them for $1,200 a piece.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, so shipping chairs is a little bit tricky.
Better you than me. Maybe we should talk about shipping them. Makes sense. Shipping tiki mugs.
Yeah.
I think you might have some tips for us. You're a master of shipping.
Yep. So, all right. So I wanted to really, Gabe's been doing these great interviews all month, traditional interviews with questions, pictures. But I said, hey, man, I'd love to be on and give the top 10 tips because we all, no matter who you are, if you're watching this, you collect, you've bought, you've sold, you've traded. I mean, every one of us has done that. And the problem is, this is actually a tiki mug. This was a tiki bob.
Okay, I don't know if that other one can still be called a tiki mug.
No, not at all. This was a Monk Tiki mug. Was. And then in this box was a Hawaiian Inn paddle liquor. Well, there's the side of it for you. Here's the front of it. So we've all been there, and it sucks. It absolutely sucks. But you know what sucks the most, and we're going to get to all this, is a lot of you who have shipped me mugs overpay. It's the dumbest thing to do. You are overpaying for a service that you could pay a lot less for. And I hate to see, even if I don't know you personally, I hate to see people who, are my friends or people sell me a mug that they paid the man too much money. But look, one more thing I want to show you before we get to the tips. Even big companies don't do it well. So here is a box from Beine Creative. And you see that big dent there, Gabe? That means, now look.
Hard to miss, buddy.
I am going to tell you a fallacy that everyone says online. Oh, the post office beat it up. No. If this can happen, there's not enough packing material in the box. Because let me tell you, I ship thousands upon thousands of packages all over the world every year, and none of mine look like this because I pack them right. So what happens when the box gets dented like that? Yeah, the box inside gets dented like that too. Hold, please. Yeah, how's that box look?
That's a tragedy, dude.
Look at that. Look at that dent. I mean, Beine Creative, their whole job after the mug is made is just to ship. That's all they do. And if this is their level of shipping right now, it's crazy awful. Crazy. All right. So there's our examples. Let's get to some tips to help all of you out. I mean, this is, please take notes, take screenshots, come back and watch again later, because this will help you. And we're going to start with the saving the money. It's going to be a little nerdy and a little number heavy, but you're going to be shocked by the end of it. So please stay with me here. All right. So number one, there's only one place to ship, and that's Pirate Ship. If you've not signed up on pirateship.com, go do that as soon as we're done tonight, because that's going to save you the most amount of money. All right. So I got some examples so you can really see the numbers. If you're shipping an 8x8x8, 2 pounds, 8 ounces, and that's typically your square mugs. We'll talk about this mug in a second. Like coconuts and stuff. If you go up to the counter, it'll cost you $10.45 within the same zone you live in, okay? If you ship at USPS.com, it'll cost you $8.42. So those of you who go to the counter, you are wasting so much money. Think about it this way. If you go on vacation and rent a car, and on the way to the airport, you forgot to fill up the tank, and you fill up the tank at the gas station next to the airport, it's going to be way more expensive than if you filled up at the gas station 4 miles from the airport. You go to the counter, you pay the most money. So if you ship on USPS.com for that same box, it's $8.42, which is a $2 savings. And if you go to Pirate Ship, $6.82. You have now saved $3.63 for the same box. That's why I get bummed when people overpay. I'm like, because look, you don't have to have a label printer. You don't even have to have labels. You can print out the shipping label on a piece of paper and tape it on. They don't recommend it, but you can do it. So definitely do that. Now, most mugs of like this size, right arrow, this is not the broken one, can either go in a 1377 or a 1266. So let's say it's a 1377, 2 pounds, 8 ounces. If you go up to the UPS counter and it's going to zone 8. So zone 8 will be the furthest zone from wherever you live. So for me, zone 8 is like Maine or even Gabe probably.
Blob.
So that box at the counter will cost you $22.45. If you go to USPS.com, it'll cost you $18.45. So you've already saved $4. Now look, on Pirate Ship, it is also $18.45. But the kick-ass thing about Pirate Ship is, they also have UPS. Now we dropped to $13.35 for the same mug, essentially the same service. It might get there 1 or 2 days later, but now you have saved a lot of money. That is $9.10 in savings. And people always overpay. You do not have to overpay. It's the same services. You just got to do it right. So Pirate Ship is what's going to be your secret weapon. But there's one thing even better. Their awesome secret is called the simple export rate. Write that down. Take that screenshot. That's for shipping internationally. So let's say I'm shipping one of those tiki mugs to Australia, 13 by 7 by 7, 2 pounds, 8 ounces. There it is. Now, regular first class international is $55.81. That will stop people in other countries from buying mugs from you. But if you get the simple export rate, let's check the difference. Ready to have your mind blown? $27. It is half price. Pirate Ship cut a deal with the post office that not even eBay could cut for whatever weird reason. And so why would you ship a mug for 56 when you could ship it for 27? And here's the great thing. Charge 35. You can make $8 on your shipping and you are still $20 less than everybody else. And that $8 covers your box, your peanuts, your time, you know. And so that's how you do it. Now, the big thing is, do I have the slide? Oops. No. Okay. So in the low, I forgot to add one slide. In the lower right-hand corner, there's a little word balloon. You click it. It's the help balloon. And a human will answer because it's called pirateship.com. They'll talk in pirate speak. It's all very cute.
And are you ready to ship with Pirate Ship?
And when you're printing labels, they give you pirate jokes all the time. It's great. But all you got to do is say, I would like the simple export rate. They actually have to turn it on for you. You don't get it automatically. But boom, right there. Just those tips right there will save you a ton of money. I've seen people send me a mug that should cost $13 and they spent $25 at the post office. It's a bummer. You're paying for the same service. Why give the man more money than he actually needs? Screw that. Okay, and if you're selling on eBay, you can hook up Pirate Ship to your eBay. So you can just, all the stuff from eBay just shows up on Pirate Ship and you can ship right from there. Etsy, if you have your own website, that's how I do my client stuff. Pirate Ship's the way to go. Oh, yeah. Oh, best customer service. I had a first broken thing in a long time through UPS. Pirate Ship asked me for like 4 or 5 things, proof of purchase, the damage, blah, blah. And then they went to bat. I didn't have to fight UPS. And like in 6 days, they came back with my refund. Oh, see, big toe. See, you were just a little bit too slow. Pirate Ship fights for you. Trust me, brother. I ship thousands and thousands of packages every year all over the world. I really don't have any problems, hardly at all. But I had one problem. They went to bat, had my money back in 5 days. And I had to do nothing but send them the info they needed. And then I just sat back and waited. All right. Shipping materials. This is acceptable. Bubble wrap, packing peanuts, and air pillows. Here's the shit I get. Newspapers, egg cartons, grocery bags, bras, and I put the word nothing because I've had mugs show up just in the box with nothing else.
Those are the best ones.
Now, I say the bra. So Toe, if you've never had a problem with UPS through Pirate Ship, or maybe you didn't realize you could file the claim through Pirate Ship, that's maybe what you missed. So this broken mug, which I posted everywhere, I have a little video loaded. You're going to see the clothes in the box.
This is the scariest thing I've seen all Halloween.
Yeah, you didn't fill the void like I told you to.
So there's some board shorts I just pulled out. And there's a dirty shirt. And I meant to edit this, everybody. I'm so sorry I didn't edit it. I realized as we were going live, I forgot to finish editing. Let me jump ahead here because I wanted you to see the bra. And me stab myself in the leg. All right. Okay, more used clothes, including, yes, a bra.
Fuck.
And so in that box was more Tiki Bobs. Actually, thanks to a lead from Gabe that some made it, but this one sure didn't. A bra is not packing material. Never, ever, 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 ever. Also, egg cartons. People are allergic to eggs. Don't use any food cartons at all, especially egg cartons, because you've been in the grocery store. There's egg mess everywhere. Newspaper, the ink gets on people's hands, and plastic bags just it doesn't fill the void at all. Well, yeah, they weren't. All right, make sure you have the correct size box before listing. Now, if you have regular size mugs, you probably, if you sell or ship a lot or trade a lot or buy, you probably have the right size mugs. But if you have something weird and maybe a little off the beaten path, you're going to have to make sure you have the proper box. So don't list something and then when it sells, go, what should I do? Because all the time people are like, I don't have a box. Well, that's something you think of beforehand, please. If your box is too big, trim it down. So here's a great box to ship. It's called the shoe box, although you don't have to ship shoes in it. As you can see, it's very thin cardboard. Most of you might be losing your mind right now, like, there's no way I would use that. I have shipped hundreds of mugs in this box, but the box is super tall. So you put your peanuts in the bottom. You're going to take three sections of fresh bubble. Wrap your mug all nice and tight. Just like that. So peanuts in the bottom, set this down, and then peanuts on the sides and the top. But that's only going to get it to about here. You don't need to waste packing material to fill the rest of it. What most people don't even think to do is, all you got to do is get your scissors out, trim the sides down, all four, and then you just fold it in. That's it, man. So make sure your box is big enough, but if it's too big and that's the only box you got, just trim it down. You also can score it to fold it shorter, so like this. So yeah, don't overpack just because your box is too big. Just, trim it all down. Oh my. Oh, there's two people that just said that in a row.
That's okay. I would say one is too many, but two is that's disturbing.
All right, here's the big thing. Now, look, I'm in 1,000 Tiki groups. I have my own Tiki group. You got a double box. Sometimes. Not always. If you are shipping a Ren Clark severed head, and I looked out, mine has great paint on it. What a bonus.
The subtle brag. Brag. You gotta love the subtle brag
for sure. This is very thin compared to modern mugs. This would definitely need to be double boxed. And if you were to wrap this in bubble first, then put it in a box, this is the one mug, or the thinner vintage mugs, I wouldn't wrap it tight. Modern mugs you can wrap tight with a bubble wrap, but these, if I could actually crush it if I really wanted to. So I would just put it in a good, strong, smaller box, maybe fill it with peanuts, and then suspend that in the middle of a bigger box with peanuts on all six sides. Same with the bob, but I'll show you the trick to shipping a bob in a minute. But now let's go to a modern mug. This Frankie's Surf Dragon is so big, I could beat Gabe to death with it, and it won't break. And so you don't have to be as cautious with this, although it does have a big opening. But the one I just wrapped up, most round Tiki Farm and or Hmong Tiki mugs nowadays, modern ones, are so thick and heavy duty, you don't need to do much. Also, especially modern mugs, you don't need it. Vintage a little bit. You don't need to put things inside. That won't do a damn thing. That's just wasting your peanuts. Don't put nothing in there. No need.
More peanuts, more money.
Yeah. So double box older fragile things, or, this came in a box with the perfect styrofoam. If you don't have that box, I would recommend split it into 2 small boxes inside a bigger box, because this is really precarious. Oops. Ew. Hey, use more peanuts than you think, but not too many. Here's the one mistake everybody makes. Now, when you make a Mai Tai, Gabe, you've made Mai Tais, I've made Mai Tais, we've all made Mai Tais. You don't put the ice right to the top of the glass. It's got to be rounded. When you get the liquid in, it all kind of settles in a little bit. Same thing. People think that when they get the peanuts in the box, they go just to where the flaps fold. And that's not good, because what happens is, as it travels from me all the way across the country to Gabe, it settles. Then there's time. There's movement. Things break because they can move. What you got to do is you got to put it a little bit rounded, just like you're making a Mai Tai. You got to make it just a little bit rounded. Oops, or just too much rounded. Okay. Now we are above the fold, but as we push down, it will lock it. Wow. See, it'll lock in nicely, because that journey, it moves. They compress a little bit. So you want to make sure. Now, too much will actually put force on it. And if you're shipping something like this, it will actually become harmful. So don't go crazy and try and Hulk shut it.
Jeremy in the comments wants you to put the Ren Clark mug down, Jason. You're scaring the people watching. You got to protect the mug, buddy.
All right, 2 tools you should have. Tape gun. I see all these people they just have the roll of tape, Gabe, and they're like trying to pick at it, and they pull it, and then they cut it with their teeth. You can pick these up at a thrift store for $3. All right, and this is the magic. Those of you trying to cut with regular scissors, get your electric clippers, man, right through the cardboard. So much easier.
I thought you were going to trim your beard there for a second, buddy.
Yeah, no. But those are the 2 tools that most people don't have. And look, if you ship one mug once ever, okay. But we all buy, sell, and trade all the time, most of us. And so you should have these tools to make your life easier. All right. Some people use only flat rate boxes. I've seen a lot of mug producers use only flat rate. It's fine if it's going from me to Gabe, if the price is right. But from me to Big Toe in Southern California, that mug to Gabe would cost say 2.5 pounds would cost $18.45 priority. But if I go into medium flat rate, is $14.50. But if I ship that same mug to Big Toe in Southern California, it's only $8. So to use a flat rate to California, I would be overpaying by $6. So always check your prices. Don't just assume a flat rate is going to be cheaper, because if it's close, it's not.
Oh. This is a tangent, but I agree with James here in the comments. Putting the label on the box. I've noticed Amazon's doing this. I also collect Legos, and I've noticed they started doing this where they put the label right on the Lego box.
You collect Lego and you called it Legos? I think you were going to get thrown out of the Lego collecting.
Yeah, that's true. Lego is singular and plural.
Do you collect vinyls too?
Yep. But yeah, don't do that, guys. Don't do that.
All right, I showed how to wrap a mug. I kind of jumped ahead there. And my secret weapon, pool noodles. And this helps for shipping a lot of things, including mugs. And there are different sizes, so you should have a variety of sizes. And where I use pool noodles in mugs is right here. So I had to ship this Tiki Bog mug, and the Bob mugs are very thin, like the Severed Head, and fragile. And if you're a bigger dude like myself, you could actually squeeze it and feel the mug move a little bit. So whereas I said you don't have to put anything inside this mug, you definitely have to put a little pressure on the inside so it doesn't get crushed on this mug. And so what I did this last time, and it worked beautifully, I got glowing feedback. I got out my old whittling, and I started whittling down the pool noodle till it fit into the bob perfectly. And I was about to cut it a little short, and my assistant said, "Hey, man, leave a little bit for the top so they can pull it out easier." I go, "Oh, yeah, you're right." Oh, back up. So there it is. I whittled it down, and it fit perfectly in there. And then, boom, I just cut it off. So that gave it enough padding in there that when I wrapped it with bubble and then put the peanuts around it, it didn't push it too hard to break it. And like I said, I got glowing feedback. So pool noodles, and something I learned this year, pool noodles are out year-round everywhere, even in cold places, because they realize people use them for other things. And right now, the black and orange are out, like at the dollar stores. The green and reds will be out next week for Christmas. And so there's always pool noodles around, so get them. Oops. That's for later. Whoops. Get out of there.
I do like the look of that.
Yeah. Punisher, I have never done that in my life, and I've been shipping online now for 23 and a half years or whatever it is. I've never done that. And I've never, I mean, I've had a couple things lost, of course, but that'd be impossible not to after shipping out. You know, what have I shipped? 100,000 packages in the last 25 years? 200,000? You know, who knows? But I've never done that. Never had a problem.
I will say it is kind of nice when people put like the invoice in the box, which I'm terrible about because it's kind of, I don't know. It's just an extra step that I skip. But, you know, when you're a mug collector and you buy a lot of mugs, you know, sometimes you forget, you know.
So that's your 10 tips. And I am, you know, I'm
tips.
easy to find on Facebook. If you've got any questions about shipping mugs, excuse me, I'm always happy to help. Just reach out. I am always happy to help.
Thank you, good sir.
You're very welcome.
I want to piggyback on this a little bit.
Sure.
And ask you. I have some mugs. Okay. And to be clear, these mugs are not for sale. I am not selling these mugs, guys. No, I will not sell them. They are a part of my permanent collection. But they're kind of strange. So I just want to ask you how you'd ship it.
All right, I'm ready.
Right.
I like a little on the spot kind of stuff.
Let's start with this one. We'll give a shout out to Mini Tiki Meow. Okay, Kundu PNG drum mug. It's got the bird on the side. The bird is very fragile.
Yep.
The rest of it is cylindrical and pretty straightforward. So how would you ship this?
All right. Oh, actually, sorry, cut. For that, I would get out my pool noodle and I would get out the smaller of the two. And you slit it down the side like that, okay? And then I would cut a piece just the length of the handle, put that right over top it, boop, just like that, and then wrap the whole thing in bubble into a box with enough room for peanuts on all 6 sides, 1.5 to 2 inches.
The man is a genius.
Yeah,
right.
I'm weird. I'm the one person in the world I know that loves shipping. I love shipping things I've never shipped before because then I got to figure it out like a puzzle.
It's like one of those games, like the rush hour games.
My wife watches me, even my assistant, and especially my wife, she's known me forever. She's like, I'm amazed how you can just like whip up a box for something that's odd shaped and just be done with it like you've done it 100 times. I'm like, yeah, that's my superpower.
Yep. And we've all, you know, if you ship long enough, eventually you will have something that's weird and awkward. And our tendency is to kind of procrastinate. Be like, you know what, I don't know how to ship it, so I'm just going to put it off to the side, and it kind of haunts you, you know. So kudos to you for having it. Here's another one.
Yep.
Shima Ceramics, which, guys, this one is sold out, but he actually just released another. He's doing a series of these mugs. ShimaCeramics.com, I assume. Chris Shima, awesome mugs. This one though, it's got these two, you know, big horns. So if I try to wrap this in bubble wrap, it's going to get kind of gnarly. So how would you ship this one?
All right, so we're gonna go back to the pool noodles, and here's how we're gonna use the pool noodles for this one. This one, because of the horns, I would definitely do a box in a box. So you're gonna want to find a box that's just big enough to set that mug in, and then put and this time I would cut it in half, so you'd have 2 halves. Put a pool noodle on each side of the horn in the box. So essentially, it's just wide enough for you to slide down the 2 pool noodles with the mug. And that way it can't move anywhere. It's got this as a protector. And then that box goes into a bigger box with peanuts on all 6 sides, 1.5 to 2 inches on each side.
So the theme is, if there's a theme, I would say pool noodles and make sure that it can't move.
Yes.
That's the number
one
one
things
thing.
break. We have packed things and we actually give it a little shake as we walk over to put them in the tubs to get picked up. And every once in a blue moon, me or my sister will be like, "Uh-oh, I just heard something." And so we open it back up. We figure out what's moving, and then maybe just needs a little tissue paper so it stops. But if it can move, it'll break.
All right, so here's another one for you. This is another Shima ceramics mug. The tricky part of this one, okay, this is this little Fiji mermaid, which is delightfully terrifying, which is why I love it. But here's the thing: 2 pieces.
All right.
The bottom is a separate thing, So how would you ship these without them?
So my secret to those is you would take a piece of styrofoam, like a sheet of styrofoam, like paper, whatever you want to call it, not thick styrofoam, and you'd set it between the two, and then you take the industrial shipping saran wrap that you can just buy at any store, and you would saran wrap it together so it can't move, and then you would just pack it normal the rest of the way. Bubble wrap, peanuts, away you go. When I ship my cocktail glasses, my dinner and Mai Tai glasses, they have the little plastic sleeve. I stack them together, 1, 2, 3. We saran wrap them so it's just one unit, and that's how they get shipped. And they make it everywhere.
So how much?
Saran wrap is
a
bonus thing you need.
How much styrofoam do you think is necessary in between those?
Just that thin sheet. I don't have anything here. That thin sheet of styrofoam. It's really thin. It's just enough of a cushion so ceramic doesn't touch ceramic.
Mm-hmm.
And just that's all you need really. And then you just saran wrap it because then it can't move at all.
Okay, I got one more for you, Jason.
All right.
And just to repeat, guys, not for sale. Not for sale.
I do like that Shima.
This is Tiki Rob, and all of those tentacles.
All right, on this one, you ready? Local pickup only.
There you go.
Because truly though, because of the worth of that one, I wouldn't even want to ship it. Like I live in Vegas. My wife and I also live in Phoenix part-time, and I go to LA quite a bit. So if I was going to sell something of that fragile of a nature, hey, I'm going to LA this week or going to Phoenix this week, in that pocket of there's a lot of tiki people, I would definitely not ship that one.
So there are cases when it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And especially if you think about like the claim process, because it can take a while for everything has its price.
Yeah.
Stacy, no, some things don't.
Even Scotty.
Stay away. No. Okay. I got another game for us to play.
Yes, bring it.
Which this was actually your suggestion, a Swizzle game, a Swizzle off. Yep. So I think it's time to Swizzle off. Ooh. Tell us how it's played, Jason.
Well, Stacey and I were sitting in a brand new friends of ours home tiki bar in Maui. That's one of the most gorgeous home tiki bars I've ever been in. We were at the bar just drinking. And they had a big thing of Swizzles there. And I grabbed a Swizzle and showed it to my wife. And I covered the name of the bar. I said, hey, where's this Swizzle from? And so we played a couple like that. And then the bar owners jumped in and Scotty Taylor was there. And then I was done. They're like, play more. I'm like, okay. So I was just quizzing people at the bar how well they knew their Swizzle. So I thought, Gabe, I want to see how well you know your Swizzles. And then you said, I'm going to test you too. So
yeah, hey, if you're going to do something, I'm going to do something. All right. Oh, we must be starting easy because this is of course it's the golden tiki, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Very good. Yeah. Oops, starting easy.
Yeah. I almost said Frankie's and I was like, it's not Frankie's because Frankie's,
right,
I know Frankie's.
I'll show the length of this one.
That's Tiki Cat.
That is Tiki Cat.
And I did not get to experience Tiki Cat. Now I can't go to Tiki Cat. All right. I got one for you.
All right. Hit me. It's blurry.
Focus here.
Is that Chopper?
Nope.
What is that? I don't know.
Ooh,
I've never
stumped on the first one.
Yeah, I've never seen that Swizzle.
Okay, so there's a hint, right? Because the little guy's got hands.
Is it the robot tiki bar?
Those are letters. 2 T's.
Oh. I have no idea.
You give up?
Yeah, I do.
All right, 1 point for me. This is Tiki Tolteca.
Oh shit, I was there too.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna get you right now then.
All right, he's coming. Yeah, I have no idea. Never seen that before in my life.
All right, chat. Who knows this one? This was one of the two that I'm like, I'm gonna get you with this one.
You were going easy on me, and then as soon as I got a point, Jason's like,
this
nope.
bar closed allegedly because of sex parties in the bar.
Is it a tiki bar or is it?
It was. Oh, my wife is hilarious. Yeah, and I'm definitely saying allegedly. That's just through the grapevine, but it did close rather suddenly. So, all right, that is
Not
Longitude in Oakland.
That
is now Kon-Tiki.
I see what they did there. It's very clever. Yeah. All right, here's one for you.
All right.
Always takes a second here. Is it gonna do it?
It's a gremlin. I'm gonna make you bigger because. Well, my first guess would be like Mothership or the other space one in San Diego.
There you go, buddy.
They didn't have any when we were there. Bummer. That's
Mothership.
awesome. I never seen that Swizzle, but I kind of figured that was Mothership.
Lucky guess. Lucky guess.
All right, I'm gonna save my other hard one for a second. All right.
Sharks. I'm assuming Hidden Harbor.
Yes, you're right. Hidden Harbor in Pittsburgh. Amazing tiki bar. Too many windows.
Too many windows.
Does it look like that?
It looks like that.
To have
the good old
one.
Pagan Idol. Guys, go to Pagan Idol. There are a lot of good bars in San Francisco. Pagan Idol in Zombie Village are two that maybe don't get talked about as much, but are super dope. What in the what? That's a Swizzle?
Hmm?
Is this really obscure, or is it something that I could guess?
The exact opposite of obscure. There's probably about 10, 20 million of these in existence. It's not a tiki bar. I thought I'd throw it in and see if you knew what it was.
Not a clue.
That is Mr. Jack Daniels right there.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I've ever seen a Jack Daniels Swizzle. Here's one for you.
I would guess the Pan Am bar at in New York, but I'm guessing it's a tiki bar, right?
Nope, I don't think it's a tiki bar. I think it was. Man, it's taking a while to focus.
Put your hand behind it. There you go. TWA.
TWA.
And that's what I meant. I didn't mean Pan Am. I meant TWA. All right, I'm gonna go for another hard one, which I think might be a hard one.
All right, guys, help me out in the comments. Help me in the comments if you know what this one. That's full color. Is this from a bar or is this like an Etsy shop?
It's also ceramic. I thought this would be a stumper.
Guys, okay, in the comments, hook a brother up. Help me out, because I haven't the slightest idea.
I would venture a guess we've all been there.
Really?
I don't care who you are. I'd venture a guess we've all been there.
And it's a bar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I the first thing I would think of is Trader Sam's, but I don't think Trader Sam's sold that.
Well, you got one word right.
I got one word right.
Not Jungle Bird, not the Red Onion, whatever that is, Ken. Chili's. Ken and my wife are being hilarious. Well, no one knows this one. I am really
not a clue, man.
Oh,
all right.
There's my mom. My mom comes through. My mom has an amazing tiki lounge in her house too. Yep, Scotty got it too. Yep, Trader Vic's. It's for the potted parrot drink. Hence the parrot.
Nice. So it was Trader. You threw me off because I'm thinking bird, and there are only so many bars with bird.
Is there anyone in the chat who hasn't been to Trader Vic's yet? I mean, that's pretty much an easy.
Or at least one of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, give me one more. I'll give you one more, and then we'll be done with this shenanigans.
but it's so fun.
Oh, it
All
is.
right, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. It's a requirement here. I'll put it in the lane here.
Yeah, it's the dragon. Shoot, I know that Swizzle too. Oh, it's Wusong Road, right?
There you go, buddy. Wusong Road. Guys, all of our cocktail videos are filmed at Wusong Road. Jason is a super kind human being, and he gave us free range of the bar to make all of our plantation rum cocktail videos.
I will end with a vintage one.
Ooh. I like it. I like it. Is it now closed?
Oh, yeah. I've been gone for a while.
Not sure. Kahiki?
Nope.
Ooh, what's it say in them? Does it have something in the mouth? 1.5.
1.5.
1.5? Oh. I don't know if that's going to tell me anything.
Ruzik's got it. Pub Tiki.
Pub Tiki. Yeah. You have won bragging rights. That's it. That's all you want. Yep. Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, because they did 1.5 ounce pours.
All right. So the Thrifting King, you make a business of it. You've given us your tips. One question that always comes up as tiki becomes more and more popular: are there still good deals to be found?
Funny enough, my good buddy Tim Sabu the Coconut Boy found a Pub Tiki mug for $5 at an estate sale in LA this weekend, along with a Mark Thomas outrigger for $5, Ema Sumac on cassette for $0.25. So yes, there's plenty of things to be found. I find them all the time. I don't nearly thrift as much anymore because I'm transitioning into shipping for other people. But when I would just thrift, I would usually thrift 3 days a week, and I would bring home tiki mugs and other tiki stuff every single week. And so, yes, it's hard to find because there's way more of us in it now, for sure. But yeah, there is stuff to be found. You just got to go digging.
What are some of the unusual places that you found stuff?
All right, so this is the secret I've given everybody. I'll give y'all lovely people, in case you have not heard my secret. Every single thrift store in the country doesn't know their tiki mugs. Chat, where do you find tiki mugs in the thrift store? Most of you know, because I see some of my peeps from my thrifting groups here too.
Yep. I know, but only because you've told me in the past.
Yes. If you've not checked out the vase section, you are missing out on the tiki mugs in your thrift stores, because that's where they put every single tiki mug. So yeah, that's the big key, is for sure. And a bonus tip: I am 6'5". My wife is barely over 5 foot. If you haven't gotten married yet, marry someone the opposite height of you. It's so much easier to do like antique malls. Stacy does from this shelf down. I do from this shelf up. And that way,
there you go. You got all the bases covered. Because hopefully you guys have the exact same knowledge.
We were out at the Superstition Mountain Antique Mall, which is on the far east side of Phoenix, many, many years ago. And I went through a booth, but I don't ever get on the ground to look at the bottom shelf. And she goes, "Hey," and I'm 3 booths ahead of her. I turn around, and she's holding a mug, not this mug, but she's holding a mug like this. Ta-da! And it was a Stephen Crane Coup mug. And it said clown mug, $10. It was on the bottom shelf in the back corner. I never would have seen that. Me and bottom shelves, we don't go together.
There you go.
Me and top shelves, I got you all day.
Jason's a top shelf guy, which I know is not true. Having partaken of the yes, thank you to Plantation. But the furthest thing from that is the ass juice at Double Down Saloon, which I have had would I call it a pleasure? I don't know if I'd call it a pleasure.
Oh, yes.
I'm experiencing with you in Vegas.
Funny enough, we had shots of ass juice at Frankie's last week too.
Are they doing it there now? Or
no, one of the bartenders works at both, and my friend's kid turned 21, and you know what he wanted to do? He wanted to go to Frankie's with me. I'm like, what? What 21-year-old wants to hang out with me at Frankie's? But I was a little late because I think I was doing your show actually. And so he waited, and I got him a drink, and then I said, I told Mello, the bartender, I said, "Hey, make us some shots." So he made us some ass juice.
I'm sorry.
It's a rite of passage too when you come to Vegas and hang out.
Gotta have the ashtrays. All right, so you spend a lot of time on eBay. Are there key terms other than tiki that people should be searching to find good stuff?
Hawaiian for sure. A lot of actual tikis are not called tikis; are called carved wood. So that is a big thing. If you're looking for actual tikis, you can find a lot of them under just carved wood. Tiki is almost impossible to misspell. Some people do throw a double K in it for whatever weird reason. But here's the little tip I will give you. When you search on eBay for tiki stuff, besides actual tiki stuff, Tiki Barber shows up, the football player. We don't want to see his shit because that's not what we're looking for. So open the search bar, put the word tiki, a space, the minus sign, and the word barber. No space between minus and barber. That will remove everything in your search that has the word barber in it. So get rid of all the Tiki Barber crap.
There you go. There's a tip.
Yeah, because there's always a couple thousand Tiki Barber things. Like I don't want to weed through those. I have no use for Tiki Barber jerseys and shoes and trading cards.
Why work harder than you have to?
Exactly.
I don't know about this. So Stacy, we love Stacy, but Paul saying "Ask Juice Mug." Please no. I'm not looking for that.
you never saw the Ask Juice Mug? It's a toilet with a little doo-doo in the bottom.
Oh, so that's what he means.
Yeah.
At Double Down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made by Tiki Farm.
Okay. That's not what I was visualizing.
They come in white and
that
black.
One's not as bad. But yeah, we do love Tiki Farm. Do you recommend ever, or if you do, when do you recommend boosting listings on eBay?
Boosting works to a degree. I also find having sales. So typically what I do is I will price something. And then this is not just for Tiki. I sell a ton of things on eBay, a lot of clothing, a ton of music. Like this is all the music I have listed right now on Amazon right there.
Good Lord.
So what you want to do for maximizing getting money, if an item's selling for $100, price it 20% higher, or price it all 20% higher. So if it's $100, price it at 120. And then you can run a 15% off sale, and it's still a little bit higher than you actually need. But people are like, ooh, a sale. They get excited, and then they buy it. And so some items, I'll price a dumb high price, but I'll throw this sale on it that lasts for like 90 days to bring it back to where, so they're like, oh, it's already on sale. They'll still throw me an offer because I always use best offer. And I'll still get what I needed or wanted. And then they feel like they got a great deal. So it's kind of like a win-win all the way around. But it's kind of working the system. You also can do boosted listings where you pay eBay and other. I think Etsy does it too. You give them an extra percentage on top of their normal percentage. So boost my listing 5%. If it sells from the boosted listing, besides the normal fees, they tack on another 5%. Now, people go, I'm not giving them any more money. Yeah, I'm keen to not giving people more money than I have to, but experiment with it. If you sell online and you've never tried it, boost everything by 5%. Did you sell a lot more? Okay, then maybe it was worth that extra 5%. Okay. If you didn't, then you don't ever need to do it again. But when people complain and piss and moan about it, those are the people who've never tried it. Anytime you're trying to make money on your own, selling something, creating something, try all the avenues. The people who make mugs for the tiki bars that have mugs that sell them online, but don't put them actually on the other platforms like eBay and stuff, they're missing out on sales. Because not everyone thinks to go to TraderVix.com or Frankie'sTikiRoom.com, but everyone thinks to go to eBay. And so some do it right. Some tiki mug makers, Jeremy, who's in the chat, Tiki Maniacs, he has his stuff on eBay and Etsy because he wants to catch every single eye that he possibly can. Don't ever just go down one path. Tentacle that shit out, man.
Yep. We have a question from Tiki Punisher. Artist autographs a plus on mugs.
Absolutely. And, some of them are so easy to get. It's not like you're trying to get Adele's autograph. Like, we can all get Doug Horn's autograph and Crazy Al. And even Shag, if you live in Vegas or Palm Springs, because he's at his store selling a new print every other week. So you can get Shag to sign anything. So, yeah, if you can, it absolutely adds a bump of at least 15 to 20%, especially for the bigger people. Crazy Al's a bigger person. Doug Horn, Shag, obviously. So all those things. And Shag has done a ton of music, and that's where my worlds collide. So when I find records or CDs that he's on the cover for, I get them signed. And then if I sell them, if I have duplicates, I sell one. It definitely commands a 20% bump.
All right. And should people consider offering international shipping?
Oh, absolutely.
their
We
eBay
talked
listings.
about it. Get your simple export rate, because let me tell you, I ship a ton of stuff to England. Hey, what's up, Neil Smith? I ship a ton of stuff to a lot of collectors in Australia. Germany buys a lot of tiki mugs. And when I see people, like, it's just in the Facebook groups, all right, I'm selling this mug only to the lower 48. I'm like, you're dumb. Why? Why would you cut out so many potential customers?
Kenny in the comments. Doug charges $5 a signature now.
Wait, he only charged you $5. He charges me $7. That's
Oh, wait till I get to talk to Doug at Superstition Village. Which, by the way, Superstition Village, what is that about?
Oh, and real quick, I'll tell you in a second. But funny, I was putting a mug away. I'm vending at Superstition Village, which I'll show you in a second. And I was bringing a mug I had a duplicate of, and then I realized Big Toe had signed it. I didn't buy it. A friend got it for me. I totally didn't realize Big Toe had signed. So I'm like, well, I'm not selling that. That just went back on the shit. That went to the shelf. I'm like, oh, so yeah. So make sure you double check when you're getting rid of the extras. Oh, did that get signed? Because I would never sign anything Toe signed for me. So that's awesome. But yeah, Jeremy, who is Tiki Maniacs, put on a very successful event last year in the far east side of Phoenix called Queen Creek. It is called Superstition Village, and it was a hit. He did it in, oops, helps to click ad. He did it in September last year, and I think the day we had it set a record for heat. Everyone lined up because Jeremy had made an amazing mug for the event, and everyone lined up early to obviously get the event mug and then to be the first to shop at all the vendors. And their brains were frying outside while we were, finishing setting up. This year he bumped it to November, and our outlook for next weekend looks so nice and mild compared to September last year. So it's November 4th. If you're anywhere in the Phoenix area, there's almost 30 vendors. I'm one of them. There's 2 tiki bars this year. So if you were there last year, we had 1 bar, 1 bartender. It took a long time to get a drink. Multiple bartenders, multiple bars. So you get your drink and get your shopping on. Live music, hula girls, shave ice. I'm part of a vintage fashion show of vintage dresses and shirts that those of us who sell that stuff have for sale. So you'll see them walking around, then they'll be for sale in the booth. It's in this cool, huge tin building that's super fun. And it's a great event. I'm glad I vend at it. And I got to see a lot of people. But if I didn't vend, if Toe signs it, you have to knock off 20%. No, I tack on 30, buddy.
I'm surprised that was Toe that said that and not Ken.
But it's such a good event. I would go if I wasn't vending. And it's an event where you can kind of stay all day because of bands, DJs, multiple awesome tiki bartenders like Tiki Dave, Captain Dave from around Phoenix, and Hula Girl. I mean, so yeah, you could be there all day hanging out doing different things.
It's a great place to go for mug collectors too. As Jeremy just said, I was super excited to hear that Crazy Al just confirmed he's vending. So I don't think he was there last year. So Crazy Al is going to be there. I'm sure he's going to have some mugs. His stuff is always crazy cool. And then Odd Rodney's bringing 3 new tiki mug designs.
Nice.
Odd Rodney is an Arizona-based artist, and all the love to Odd Rodney. He is just a super stand-up dude. Support him if you can, for sure. And Moonlight Magic is performing. So there's that. There's music. And then Jason, you're going to be vending.
Yeah, I have an amazing double rack of vintage dresses and vintage men's shirts. 50% of them are bar cloth. Just amazing stuff. And some of the ones were left over from last year that I just been in the tub since last year, and I've actually downpriced some. Not that they're not worth what I had them priced at, but I'm like, you know what? I want more people to have these, and I need to make room. And so tons of great stuff. I mean, I got some vintage shirts as low as like $14, $12. You got to be a smaller human to buy those. You cannot be my size. But we have tons and tons of stuff. I got a couple hundred mugs I'm bringing, from modern ones to I even have a Tiki Bob I'm bringing. So I legit
all the ones signed by Tom.
Not this Tiki Bob. I'm bringing a legit Tiki Bob. No.
Ooh, which Bob are you bringing?
What
is signed up?
Louisiana.
There you go, guys. If you want a Tiki Bob, if that's on your Grail list, go to Superstition Village, support, all the mug makers, and get the Tiki Bob from Jason.
Plus, Jeremy's made a kick-ass mug for this event.
Yes.
And I might just have a mug for this event.
Ooh, yes. And we got to give some love to Patrick Vassar in Florida. He's going to be making the drive up.
Yep, he'll be there now.
Long haul from Florida, but he'll be there. So, yeah. And Doug Horn, I think, will be there as well. Another event is Inuhele.
Yeah.
Are you going to Inuhele this year?
Yeah, I'm giving 2 presentations at Inuhele.
Have you determined what they'll be?
Yes, I own the business ledgers from down the Beachcomber when they were in Chicago. That tells an amazing story of Don, his soon-to-be ex-wife Cora, and the Chicago mob all came together to build an amazing empire in Chicago. And so 2 years ago, I presented there. I gave the first speech, which is from the inception in 1940 up to 1950 or so. And then this year, I'm going to do a little 5-minute reminder of what I taught 2 years ago, because I had to skip last year because of my hips, or this year, I mean. But then we're doing part 2 where the bar manager, not Don, but the guy around the bar, his name was Denning, SP Denning. He decides to, he was making in $13,000 a year. In today's dollars, that's like $300,000 a year to manage a bar. And that wasn't enough, so he robbed the mob. And that's all in the ledgers. So I'll be talking about that aspect when the bar manager robbed the mob. And then my other one is about tiki collecting, how to get your grails without paying an arm and a leg. I'm going to pick it up again. Although I did pay a lot for this, I did not pay full retail. So we'll talk about that. So I got 2 presentations, and it's an amazing event with the best room parties ever. And I've been to a lot of events.
And that event is in Atlanta. It is just down the street from Trader Vic's. So if you are one of the very few people watching today that hasn't been to Trader Vic's, here's an opportunity. And it's put on by Jonathan
Chafin,
who also does Horror and Clay. Super nice dude. Mad props to him. Not just for doing an event in Atlanta, but also doing it at a time of the year, January, when there are not that many other tiki events going on. So it's one that you can attend without having to choose, do I do this one or that one? You can fit it in comfortably.
And the crazy thing is, if you've never been to Atlanta in January, it's fucking cold. You would think, oh, it's the South. It should be. No, it is brutally frigid. But the way this hotel is built, pool in the middle, and then all these rooms with lanais around the pool, and that's where all the room parties happen. But then they put all this tropical lush plants around the pool. So although you're inside, you're like in this tropical setting in downtown Atlanta, having all these awesome cocktails. And so the setting really makes that event just extra awesome.
Yep, 100%. And they have the usual suspects. They'll have vending. They've got seminars. They've always got some mug releases. They've got some bands. They got cool stuff. I think tickets are still available. So if you guys want to go to Inuhele, make sure you get tickets, and Superstition Village as well. Real quick, congrats, dude. 3,000 members in Polynesian Pop Tiki Collectors, the Facebook group.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
I'm learning about my group here on the show.
There you go. Congratulations.
Yeah, I just started that group less than a year ago. We already got 3,000 members, and I never ever talk about it or publicize it. People show up and they have a good time, and I got a giveaway going right now. Show your horror tiki bugs, and I have a Trader Fix Halloween glass I'm giving away on November 1st. Randomly, whoever posts a picture, everyone that posts is going to get a number, and then I'll do a random number generator on the 1st, and I will. There we go. I will give that away to somebody, and this is where you want to go. But thanks for letting me know I crossed 3,000. I didn't even notice.
Yes. Ta-da!
Polynesian Pop Tiki Collectors. That's what you're looking for. The picture that says under new management up at the top there. Or actually, I think now it says new and improved. But
this is on Facebook, guys. So if you're on Facebook and you wanna become more involved in the tiki community, make some friends.
There's number 10 right there. And by the way, if you posted a picture, I've been so busy this week prepping for Superstition and this speech. I know I'm behind on my numbers, but trust me, I'm going to get to all your numbers in that way. No one's going to get left out. I promise you that.
No one's gonna be
So come over and join us. We're having a lot of fun over there.
And then not just Polynesian Pop, we also got to talk about you got a new business, man.
Yes, I do.
Devilishly Good Fulfillment Services. What is it? Tell us about it.
So Jeremy, Tiki Maniacs, and I were drunk in Undertow. And, where do you get your best ideas? Where do you get your best ideas? Drunk at a tiki bar for sure. And so he has had a bunch of mugs come out already. The Tiki Maniacs makes amazing mugs, and the Groovy at that time the Groovy Greg was out, and so we were talking about it. And I just I'm a nerd for all things shipping, like I'm assuming you guys all know by now. So I said to Jeremy, because at that point he'd probably shipped maybe 1,000 mugs, of all the mugs he has sold, or 800, whatever. And I said, hey, tell me about your shipping area. And he goes, dude, I don't have a shipping area. I have an 8x8 card table. And I said, you have shipped 1,000 mugs off an 8x8 card table? He goes, dude, you don't even know. Because Jeremy's got kids and a wife, and the garage has cars and sporting equipment and all that kind of stuff, like a normal household. And he goes, yeah, it takes me forever. And I said, you should hire me. And so a week later he calls me and goes, okay, you're hired. And I said, for what? And he goes, you're shipping for me. And then he goes, I already have 1,000 mugs inbound from China to your house. I go, oh yeah, we had that conversation. And then I hung up with him. I go, I should probably make a business. I should probably figure this out. So his mugs got landed, and I finally figured out it's going to be called Devilishly Good Fulfillment Services, so I can use my Dennison logo, awesomely drawn by Doug Horn. And I have currently 3 clients. I'm the official shipper for Rare Character Whiskey. Definitely has nothing to do with Tiki, but the guy who owns it puts on the Tiki by the Sea event in New Jersey. And for them, I ship glassware, T-shirts, and stickers, and they got some more stuff coming up. I am also the official shipper for Undertow in Phoenix. Woohoo! And the official shipper for Tiki Maniacs. So if you have a tiki bar you love going to, and they sell mugs, but they refuse to sell online because they don't know how to ship, have them call me. My fees are very reasonable. And when Jeremy's mug first went on sale, that one he had delivered, he sold 100 mugs that first night. And so it took me and my assistant about 2 hours and 10 minutes to ship out those 100 mugs. And I called him. I said, I think we can get it faster. And he goes, faster? It took me 16 hours to ship 100 mugs. So when you're using the card table and you're scooping out the peanuts, yes, I have an entire office with equipment and the peanut hopper. And so I was sitting next to Jason Asher, the owner of Undertow, at the Tiki by the Sea event. And I go, hey, you guys don't sell online. You're missing out on money. Hire me and I'll ship for you. And he said, great idea. He called his wife and his partner, Rich, and said, we've just hired Jason to ship for us. So that's how easy it is. So now that I've announced it to the world, I'm going to start expanding. I ship mugs is just a landing page for now. But if you've got a tiki bar that you love, they can make money while they sleep, and I can ship for them. Products get delivered right to me by passing the owners, and I store them and ship them as they come available, and I kill it. And not to pat myself on the back, but every time we ship, the people I'm shipping for goes, holy cow, I get a ding every time you ship. You ship so fast. I go, that's why you hired me. I gave you a whole day of your life back, so to speak, for every time you have a mug drop.
Yep. Not to mention all the space in your brain that you can just like put to rest. There's the act of actually shipping, and then there's the stress of having the thought that you need to ship in your brain.
Yeah.
For all that time. If someone wants to contact you, what's the best way for them to do that? Do you prefer?
So if you go to I Ship Mugs on Insta, you can message me there, and I started posting there. iShipMugs.com as a place to pop in your email. And I'm Jason T. Smith on Facebook. You can always message me there. And it's not just mugs. Like I said, whiskey, guys, I ship whiskey drinking glasses, T-shirts, and stickers for now. They're going to do bar mats. I can ship anything. Of course, I specialize in ceramics all over the world, but I can ship anything anywhere. It doesn't matter.
This is, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
I think this is the best possible review from Jeremy here. Hiring Jason to handle my tiki mug fulfillment has saved my marriage.
Can I put that quote on the website, please, Jeremy? I love that. By the way, oh yeah, look at that. The amount of broken mugs. Yes, and I know, Punisher, I'm on your map every day, and I'm like, I got to find that day where I can update it because I have all those little weird ones. Also, I will definitely give you a finder's fee. If you bring me a tiki bar that isn't shipping online and they become my client and they stay with me for like, let's say 3 months, I will definitely throw you a little finder's fee. I will take you out to dinner. I will take you to a tiki bar, whatever. So if you bring me a tiki bar, I will absolutely take care of you.
There you go. 1 shot of ass juice for every
No.
client.
It will be good.
Jason's gonna treat you.
So yes, so I ship mugs, so you don't get stuff that shows up like this. Oops. That's sad. That's
That
sad.
a very sad Tiki Bob. Don't be that guy. Yep. We got to give a shout out because Jeremy's been tuning in this whole time, and you're shipping for Tiki Maniacs. We got a show, guys. Tiki Maniacs just released a new mug, the Professor Price Tiki mug. It is officially endorsed by the Vincent Price Estate. Super cool mug that you can purchase right now at tikimaniacs.com. And our buddy over at Devilishly Good Fulfillment Services will send it to you super quick.
I get thank yous, because not every customer, obviously, of Jeremy's is a person I know, but I got a thank you text today. Hey man, got the mug, looks great. Thanks for the great shipping. So and that makes my day. Someone saying thanks for shipping, it just makes my day because I'm such a nerd for shipping. I love it. I'm a weird person. I love shipping. So I don't know why it took me this long to figure out what my skill set is within the Tiki community. I can't make mugs. I can't draw. I can't carve. And I thought, all right, I guess my skill is my wife and I support our friends who are artists, which we still do. But I'm like, duh, I can ship anything. And a lot of people can't. So let me be your shipper.
And even the people that can, you don't necessarily want to.
True. Right? Yes.
Yep. So there's that. All right. So real quick game. And then I think we should announce the winner of this.
And then I think we should announce the brand new glaze of that.
The brand new glazes. Yep. So the real quick game is if you had to choose.
Oh, bring it.
Oh, bring it. If you had to choose, and give us like the first thing that comes to mind. Right? Mai Tai or zombie?
Oh, zombie all the way.
Zombie all the way.
I like my tiki drinks more boozy, the better.
Okay. Oahu or Kauai?
Most people probably hate me for this, but Oahu.
Really? Why?
I would say Maui
deserves a follow-up question.
I would say Maui was the third choice, but Oahu, Skull and Crown is one of the best tiki bars on the planet. And so that right there gets me. And I love the North Shore. And although I love the lushness of Kauai and Maui, I do like hanging out in the city for a couple of days when I'm on the islands too. So, and the beach, Waikiki Beach, is a lot of fun.
Waikiki Beach. All right. If you had to choose, I know you can like both of these things, but if you had to choose mugs or media, which one you choosing?
Well, funny, at the ripe old age of 53 in the year of 2023, I've just really recently discovered streaming. I've never had Spotify. I've never had Apple Music because I have a CD collection that numbers about 5,000.
Tell us you're old without telling us you're old.
Oh, I know. I got Apple Music free with my last iPhone. And I'm like, oh, I can just listen to anything, dial it up in a second. And I'm actually getting rid of my music collection, except for rare pieces. So mugs for sure.
All right. This is a tough one. Frankie's Tiki Room or the Golden Tiki?
Red Dwarf. But
Red Dwarf. There you go, because of the pizza.
And I'm really loving Golden Tiki nowadays. But I've been at Frankie's 1 day a week for 15 straight years. Frankie's is my place. I got my favorite bartender. I got my favorite bar stool. That's my jam.
It's so iconic, and it's got art from some of our favorite artists that have been tuning in tonight. Tom, Laura, Big Toe, Ken Ruzick, Doug Horn. It's got a lot of really cool stuff in there. Okay, table games or slots?
Oh, video poker. So that would be called slots because that's all I pretty much play anymore is video poker. And that's the great thing about living here. You can play it at Frankie's. You can play it at Golden. You can play it in the grocery store. You can play it at the gas station. If you like video poker, you can play it everywhere. So there's been times when I've won enough video at a video poker in the grocery store that paid for my groceries. I've also lost, but there are those days when you hit 4 aces and they give you $150 and you're like, I'm going to go pay for my groceries.
That's what keeps you coming back. That's how they get you, dude. That's
when we first moved here, Gabe, the first 3 days in, we went to the grocery store and it was like 10 a.m. and we're walking past the little video poker room in the grocery store, and I go, look at these losers gambling at 10 a.m. in the grocery store. Within a week, I was that loser. I was like, oh, I get it now. Oh, you mean the most awesome mural that you're part of as the archway walking into Frankie's? Because let me tell you,
that's
I
what
don't
he's
think
talking about.
Frankie's needed anything. That mural is awesome. That really added a touch. I didn't think it would need it, but man, it's so cool. Good job.
Such a pop. I haven't, I've seen the photos, but I haven't been to Frankie's since that mural was put in. So, I think a trip to Vegas might be in my future.
I got a guest room for you. It's called the South Pacific Room, and it features 87 different covers of the albums, the soundtracks of South Pacific.
Oh boy, oh boy. I might take you up on that.
Yeah, man. It's got a nice king bed. It's gorgeous.
Is your bathroom nicer than the one at Red Dwarf?
Oh, yes. Yes. And it's Stacy's bathroom. Our guest bathroom is Stacy's bathroom, and it's all pirate themed. You'll never see more pirate stuff in a bathroom than in Stacy's bathroom.
Okay. I don't know if it's still that way, but last time I went to Red Dwarf, they don't even have a door. It's just like, I don't know, what do you call that? 80s.
It was the beaded curtain, but they've gotten
Beaded
fancy.
curtain.
They now have a shower curtain separating the two.
Oh, nice. Okay. Do they still have all the security cameras pointed at the urinal?
Yes.
Like 17 security cameras. Good old Red Dwarf. All right, buddy. I think it's time.
Yep. Give away a mug, unveil a mug, and then I'm off to the new Tiki Bar in Vegas.
Yep. All right, guys. We're going to take a closer look at this. This is the Den of Sin mug. This was the third one, I believe.
What happens in the shadows stays in the shadows.
And it's got the glaze on the side, so it looks like he's peeking through the door.
He's either coming out or going in.
Den of Sin. All right, guys. Let's take a closer look, and then we're going to announce the winner of the Den of Sin mug. And the winner is, congratulations to Christopher McCleary. Christopher McCleary, you have won this limited edition, long sold out Den of Sin cocktail mug based on Jason's home bar and logo designed by Doug Horn and Stacy, Jason and Stacy, of course. And yeah. Congratulations to Christopher McCleary. And with that said, I think there's a new glaze on the way.
All right. So our first one, we called the OG glaze, the red matte finish. Second one was for a private Facebook group I have called the Beachcomber glaze, the blue one, which Gabe is drinking out of. You just saw the what happens in the shadows stays in the shadows. And today, Stacey and I can unveil the all-new version of the Den of Sin. We're calling it 2.0 with a brand new glaze.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we had to switch mug makers, so it definitely looks like your older ones, but a little bit of new changes. Oh, whoops, did I blow right past it? The Den of Sin Devil is now suave and mauve. That's the new.
Oh,
there's the new glaze. There's the new
suave
glaze name.
mauve.
Suave and mauve. The two-tone, the black jacket, and the mauve head. As you can tell, the horns are a little bit different, and the back just says the Den of Sin, doesn't have the rest of the logo. It is now being made by Patrick Vassar, and he killed it. He knocked it out of the park. This glaze is just awesome. And I didn't tell him to make the horns longer, but I said, make it look like it fits with the other three, but also make it your own a little bit. And he took Doug's work and just did an amazing job. So here's the sitch. We made 150 of them. We took pre-orders the last 2 weeks. We've already sold. We already took 75 pre-orders, so that's half. I have 15 for the Superstition Village showing up, and so now we're down to 90. And so I want to hold 10 back just in case of breakage. So basically, we got 50 left to sell. All right. So I'm going to put the post up this week. I won't see. That's the thing. I don't like people who do all these pre-sales and it goes on forever. Although Patrick's in the middle of making these, I'd rather have them and then sell them to a degree. So I'm not a huge fan of pre-sales. I understand them sometimes, but sometimes, as we all know, they go on for far too long. I'd rather have product in hand, sell it, ship it, ta-da. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is Suave and Mauve.
Suave and Mauve. Super exciting, dude. Congratulations on another awesome mug. I know there are plenty of people looking for these mugs in all the different glazes. Some of them are on eBay and they're going for pretty crazy prices. So if you want
Doug did an amazing job.
Oh, there you go. I think I might pre-order a second mug. One is not enough.
It turned out so good with that black jacket. I was just like, oh, I love it. So I'm so.
I love the name too, Suave and Mauve.
Thank you.
I hadn't heard the name until tonight.
Yep. So I got 50 left basically. Now, of course, some of the pre-orders might, they didn't see a mug, and so they might be like, no, and that's fine. Because I also, when I do something like that, I am happy to say that's fine. Here's your money back. No questions asked. Too many other companies are like, they give you a hard time. Nope. You don't want this mug. I don't want you to have it. That's fine. Because someone else wants it. That's for sure. So
yep.
If anyone backs out, then we'll have a few more. But as it is, when I put it up, it'll probably only be about 50 at this point. If you're going to be in Phoenix next week at Superstition, if you're one of the first 14s in my booth, you can get one. And my booth is next to the Tiki Bar. Easy to find me.
So there you go, guys. Go to Superstition Village. Give Jason some support. If you are a bar, then for sure contact Jason and Devilishly Good Fulfillment Services to get your product shipped around the world, so people can, maybe they don't have enough luggage space to take this souvenir home, but they want to buy a mug online. That would allow you to do that. There are plenty of bars that don't even offer online sales because shipping is such a pain. This is your opportunity. And then if you know a bar, maybe you aren't a bar, but you know a bar that could use the services, and you talk up Devilishly Good Fulfillment Services, Jason might buy you some ass juice, maybe something better. You get a little kickback there. So that's
Punisher said he drinks a big bar bill. I'm like, hey, if you bring me clients, I will pay for your bar bill that night.
There you go.
For sure. I love to spread the love and the wealth. You help me, I'll help you for sure.
For sure. I got to give a final shout out to Plantation Rum, guys. Plantation Rum is an official sponsor of 13 Nights of Tiki Frights and the Search for Tiki. We could not do 13 Nights of Tiki Frights without their support. We use Plantation Rum in all of our 13 cocktails, which were filmed at Wusong Road. Thank you to Wusong Road for giving us a space to film our cocktail videos, to all the bartenders that helped us out, to Mixing Up Tiki, who did all the recipes for 13 Nights of Tiki Frights. We got to give a shout out to Tiki Farm. Holden Westland over at Tiki Farm has been a huge support of the Search for Tiki.com since day one. We did get a chance to talk to him earlier this month. Tiki Farm is the world's largest manufacturer of high-end cocktail mugs. So give them some love. If you're a mug collector, they also, they're the cheapest. And I say this, I shouldn't say cheap because the mugs are made very well. Most affordable mug company out there. You can get mugs, for $35 at tikifarm.com. And yeah, they make all the mugs for Frankie's Tiki. Frankie's a lot tonight. And then Don the Beachcomber. Don the Beachcomber is another big sponsor of 13 Nights of Tiki Frights on the Search for Tiki. Don the Beachcomber, the official Don the Beachcomber, is coming back in a big way. They've announced multiple locations are opening in Florida and beyond through a phased opening over the course of multiple years. We got to talk to Marie King on the show earlier this month. Marie King came from Tonga Hut. She's super popular in California, and they brought her in to be beverage director for Don the Beachcomber. We talked to her about, the plans. We actually got to show and reveal some of the concept art, including some of the tikis that Danny Gallardo has been carving, Tiki Diablo, for the bar. So huge thank you to Don the Beachcomber, Tiki Farm, and Plantation Rum for being our major sponsors. Guys, this is it. We did it. 13 nights. It's almost Halloween, and we did 13 interviews. This is our 4th season of doing this, and it's been over 60 guests, over 4 years, which is insane. But thank you for tuning in over the course of the past 4 years. Thank you for supporting me and 13 Nights of Tiki Frights and the Search for Tiki. And with that said, Jason, thank you for being our last guest on season 4 of 13 Nights of Tiki Frights. It's been an absolute pleasure. And thank you for the tips. You know,
you're very welcome. Thanks for having me on. And no one ever says this, but hey, thanks for bringing all these great interviews. It's so fun to listen to. I got to listen to them as I worked behind the scenes this year. But in years past, I never listened live, but I always work at my desk with 3 monitors. So I'd always listen the next day. And it's always fun to hear all these artists from all over the world. And I learned and met artists this time I didn't even want on my radar. So thank you for all these great interviews. A lot of fun.
Thank you. And guys, that's the whole reason I started the Search for Tiki, was to kind of put a spotlight on some of the, the lesser known artists. Not that some of the people we're interviewing are lesser known. Some of them are, but they're all worth following. They're all worth giving your support to. I'm always ecstatic when I get all the people to join me, including Jason. So thank you. And with that said, guys, happy Halloween. You had to do it.
Just
yep.
once.
Yep. Just once. I knew it was coming. I knew it. But you did it on yourself. All right, guys. On that note, cheers. And go support I Ship Mugs on Instagram, Devilishly Good Fulfillment Services, and our buddy Jason. And look out for the Den of Sin mug at Superstition Village. Cheers, guys.
Woo!